Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk about mid-zone emphasis writers. Typically, good writing characteristics are it's balanced on paper, margins are balanced, there's a straight baseline, but not too perfect, slant consistency, and a zonal balance. A zonal balance means that the upper, mid, and lower zone are in balance with each other. They're roughly equal size. Here we see the writing of Obama. It is balanced on the paper. He's got good fluid writing. It is well developed. This writer is overwhelming. He fills up the whole sheet, leaves no room for others, and he writes 2 sentences on 1 line. This is underdeveloped, rigid, and angry writing. The 3-zonal concept is about the reality principle in the mid-zone where the heart resides, the heart decides. After all, we can have a change of heart. The upper zone is the morality principle where we think and reason, where our philosophy, abstract thinking is represented. Here we see the writing of Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer. We see this disconnected. It is underdeveloped for his age group, so he has difficulty bonding. The zonal distribution is fairly balanced. Now here we see Jim Baker with an overemphasis on the upper zone. The overemphasis means that he's idealistic, has a strong mental pursuits, and is mentally expansive. Of course, with the excessive height in the K stems, we also suggest unrealistic thinking because he moves further and further away from the reality zone. Letitia James, Attorney General of New York, ordered him to stop selling his COVID elixir. Ariel Castro, a mid-zone emphasis writer. Writers with a stunted upper zone, that is a short or even non-existent upper zone, do not prioritize their personal value system reflections and introspection. Ariel Castro kept 3 young women in chains for his sexual abuse for 10 years in his attic. Of course, this writing is severely underdeveloped, has a mid-zone emphasis, and has extreme inconsistent letter formations. Casey Anthony, also a mid-zone emphasis, no upper zone. Again, it is the same interpretation. Notice in her case, she also cramps up letters. The spacing in between letters is missing at certain points. Another mid-zone writer is Amanda Knox. She was convicted of a crime she did not do, and after 4 years in prison in Italy, was acquitted. She was 22 at the time. Richard Allen Davis, also a mid-zone emphasis writer. Distortions in the mid-zone suggest poor thinking patterns. They evade and negate problematic everyday situations. Strong distortions suggest unrealistic thinking and that the writer does not deal well with personal problems in his daily life. Richard Allen Davis was sentenced to life for the murder of Polly Klaas and was the impetus for the 3 strikes you're out law. So mid-zone writers with the stunted upper zone and disconnected writing live in the here and now, have social inclinations, are concerned with daily living, and they need recognition. This is also why teenagers and young adults who have not found their place in society yet write with a mid-zone emphasis. These writers have limited philosophical inclinations. They do not overthink their value system nor their ethical and moral values. They are immature. This is normal for a young adult and is not considered a problem, but when the writer is older, they remain immature. It turns out that people with antisocial personality disorders often write with a mid-zone emphasis. Mind you, that does not mean that every mid-zone writer is antisocial.